Hey, yeah, oh, 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 yeah.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this past week, I haven't seen anything really major going on. I know Mark Rubio talked over there in Europe, gave some speech, which was pretty good. I saw that the British, they're not having it anymore. All the foreigners, the Muslims and Islam, they're going to get rid of them. They're tired of them. So they started a new party or whatever for conservatives. So we'll see what they're trying to follow suit of what we're doing, getting rid of all the illegals and banning Sharia law in Islam. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually follow suit on that. Trying to think if there was anything else other than them still bitching about Don Lemon. All the evidence shows that he's going to jail, but we'll see it when it happens. And more than likely, he's probably going to get off, and they're going to, with a slap on the wrist and give him some probation or some BS like that, instead of actually doing jail time like he should. Other than that, nothing new really. I didn't see anything about any new shows or anything like that. I've covered pretty much most of it. So let's get to talk about what I really want to talk to you about this week. So as I've said before, even if you don't watch the channel regularly and you've only seen a couple videos or you don't watch it at all, it only takes 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button. It doesn't affect you or your channel whatsoever. It just helps this channel grow. So please subscribe. Also, I have another channel. It's called Easy Does It. The link is in the About section. Check it out if you like gaming vlogs and reviews and reactions to other YouTube channels. Okay. Again, subscribe. So not here too long ago, maybe a week or two ago, I watched that Return to Silent Hill. And like most of the shows today, they like to sprinkle a little bit of the resource material onto their version, their way of telling the story. Like it's not the original story. It has nothing to do with the original stories. They don't use the resource material to tell the story. They just use elements of the resource material and then call it Silent Hill or whatever show it is. And it's not. It has nothing to do with it. Okay. So in this one, and I've seen I've seen the first two, and I barely remember them because, again, they had nothing to do with the actual games. It was dumb. They pissed me off. This one, same thing. It's the sequel that no one's didn't even know came out, and for good reason. The only thing they got right was the James character. In the original game, you play as James. He's the main character. However, in the game, he is looking for his daughter, not his wife. In this movie, he's looking for his wife. And that's not how the story goes. In the game, he even mentions his wife's back home. She's not even there. Now, they kept the whole cult thing, you know, the witches, Satanistic cult thing, or whatever the hell you want to call it, where the townspeople are all into this fucking fucked up evil cult that has to do with demons and hell. However, in this particular movie, they make it to where his wife is complicit in it. She's a part of it. She's okay with it, and blah, blah. I'm like, that's not how the story goes. What the fuck are you doing? And the whole time he's trying to stop her, and instead of trying to find his daughter, he sees this little girl all the time, and she's actually the younger version of his wife when she was younger as a kid. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And she called herself Alice then. You know, that now the name Alice is in the game, but it has nothing to do with his wife. It has to do with his daughter. Fucking idiots. Anyways, so I'm gonna just tell you right now, spoiler alert, the story is trash. It sucks. It really does. It's terrible. The ending is by far the worst. He literally commits suicide so he can go into this time loop, because at the very beginning of the movie they meet and they fall in love, and he wants to relive that moment over and over in purgatory. That's the end of the movie. It's so dumb. It's lame. I don't know why they really just Pyramid Head, they botched this monster horribly in this movie. They made him look lame. He was terrible. The Pyramid Head character in this movie was just god awful. And when they show the nurses or whatever, there's a scene where, you know, in the game, you gotta work your way around a bunch of nurses or whatever that's frozen in this hallway. Well, in this, they put that in here in this movie, but the problem is they made it look like it was a dance routine when they started moving. And I was just like, get the fuck. It was so horribly choreographed. It was terrible. It looked like they were doing a dance scene. It was dumb. Dumb as shit. And I do not know why none of these movies can seem to get these monsters right. I half-assed like the Pyramid Head and the other two movies, but even it still wasn't the best Pyramid Head that they could have done. But yeah, they can't get these monsters correct. And I think he goes to the other side when they're blowing the sirens. I think he goes in there like twice in this movie, and that's it. And it's just for brief moments. I don't know. I do not recommend this movie. I give it 2 thumbs down. It was trash. Absolute trash. You won't like it. If you're fans of the game, you're not going to like this movie. Okay, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics, this week is Horror Week. I went with a couple of obscure 80s flicks that I had never heard of. Understandably, I didn't know that Jeffrey Combs was in both of these movies when I was looking them up. I was like, oh, I never heard of that. I'll watch that, and then come find out he's in both of these movies. And understandably, I think Jeffrey Combs is one of the best, how do I put this, creature actors. I mean, he does a lot of B-rated crap. He's one of the kings of B-rated movies. I mean, really B-rated movies. But as far as in real life, his political views and all that, he's an idiot. He's a far extreme leftist. I just don't agree with him on anything. He's loony. But he's a great actor. B actor. Okay. He's a legend. The first movie I watched was called Frieghtmare, and it was done in 1982. There's no box office numbers. It went straight to video. It stars Ferdy Mayne and Jennifer Starrett. And of course, Jeffrey Combs is in this. Basically, you have an old ass actor. They kind of try to portray him as Vincent Price, sort of wannabe. Anyways, he's gotten old. He's fixing to die, and he eventually does. He dies of like this heart attack or some shit. Well, I don't know if it was attached to his house or what it was, but he had made his own mausoleum, or mortuary, or whatever you want to call it. And then Jeffrey Combs and his buddies, and it's always typical of the 80s. You have like 6, 7 people, teenagers or whatever, young people, whatever you want to call them. There's always the arrogant jock, good-looking jock. You have the hottie, top of the tier cheerleader and they're dating, and then you have a couple of guys that follow him around like puppy dogs and do whatever he wants them to do, and they have their girlfriends with them. And then you have the outliner, the guy who is just there for kicks. He don't have a girlfriend or whatever, but he's with the party. You see this constantly throughout the 80s horror flicks. Anyways, I digress. Moving on. I just wanted to mention that because it's a common trope for the 80s. Anyway, the story is you have this actor who dies of a heart attack, and he sets shit up to where someone came looking for his fortune or whatever. He set up traps. Now, you also have his ex-wives trying to get in there and get his shit too, but one by one, these guys spring his traps. They broke in. They've been hanging out all night in his mansion or some shit, and they keep springing his traps and dying. They keep getting killed, and the movie makes it look like it's him that's doing it or whatever. The old man, like he's come back from the grave or some shit. And he taunts him by leaving these supposedly pre-recorded videos for anyone who broke in. Now, he pretty much takes out just about everybody except for, of course, the hot cheerleader girl or whatever. She survives. He even takes out one of his ex-wives. The other one he lets go for whatever reason. From time to time you'll see the police are there, but they're supposedly there the day after all this shit went down. At the end, he's talking about how great it is in hell. He's meeting interesting people and blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much the end of the movie. And they never figure out how he was killing them all, blah, blah, blah. There are two things in this movie that I just thought was, one was just sick. In the movie, they literally grab his corpse from his coffin. Why it would be, I don't understand why his corpse would still be in a coffin in this white room. That's the way it looked. But these teenagers, they grab his corpse and they decide to have spaghetti at the dinner table with his corpse. And then they're dancing with it and taking pictures with it and laughing with him. And his corpse. It was sick. It was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And they're all like wearing masks, like Halloween masks. It was kind of dumb. But it was sick at the same time. It's like, why the fuck are you having spaghetti with a corpse and fucking with him and dancing with him and all kinds of shit? It was a sick scene. the other thing was, it's so dumb. Like, these people would just stand there while he slowly walks up to him, creeping up on him, and they just stand there till he got to him, going, "Don't kill me, help me," blah blah blah. You know, they've got to put the dry ice mist behind him, make him look creepy, and he can walk up and he'd kill him. I'd be like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. There's one scene where this girl, she just stands up, stops moving, doesn't even really scream, just stands there, and his coffin comes down, floating down the steps. It's like bashing her in the fucking head. She just stands there and takes it. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, she could have ran off or whatever at any time. But no, she just stands there and takes it. It's like, okay, whatever. Anyways, it really wasn't a good movie. It wasn't horrible. I mean, it's watchable, but at the same time, it wasn't a good horror movie. It just wasn't. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And the only reason why is because I like Jeffrey Combs' acting. So, it's cheesy. It sucks. Watch it if you want. And maybe worth a one-time watch. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next one I watched was called Cellar Dweller. It was done 1987. Again, no box office numbers. It starred Brian Robbins and Deborah Ferrantino. Now, Jeffrey Combs is in this too. However, he's only at the very beginning of the movie for like 5 minutes. And then he's gone. The rest of the movie has nothing to do with him. It's more or less the woman. Jeffrey Combs plays this character where he creates this comic book strip called Cellar Dweller. And it's a horror comic book strip. Anyways, he gets a hold of, I guess it's supposed to be like some ancient book or whatever. They never really explain it. It just has a pentagram symbol on the front of it. Anyways, he draws this demon or whatever from this book, and in his comic book strip, next thing you know, this demon's killing some woman, and then it ends up killing him too, but it makes it look like he committed suicide, went crazy, but he was trying to kill the demon by lighting it on fire, by burning his comic book strips. He figured out he could kill the demon that way, and that's the first 5 minutes of the movie. Now, the rest of the movie, this woman played by Deborah, she comes in, and she's a comic book artist too. She's a fan of the Cellar Dweller comics, and she gets room and board at, I don't know, there's like maybe 4 rooms, 4 or 5 people that live in this building, like apartments or some shit. And she comes in here and she wants to take over Jeffrey Combs' character's work with the Cellar Dweller comic. So she starts making comics. She finds the book, puts on a magical phrase in one of their comics that the demon says. She finds the picture of the demon in the book, and she copies it too, and does this little magical phrase in a bubble over the demon's head, like he's speaking it or some shit. Next thing you know, people are dying in the apartment, and the demon that she conjured up ends up like eating them or whatever. And at the end of the movie, she's the only one who survives. Everybody else dies. But she figures out how to get rid of the demon, supposedly. And then the demon shows up and pretty much kills her too. And that's the end of the movie. It was cheesy. I mean, it was really cheesy. It reminded me something. This was Empire Pictures. It wasn't Full Moon Pictures, but they reminded me of something Full Moon would do. I give a thumbs up and a thumbs down. The acting wasn't horrible. You'll recognize a couple of the people in the movie. It was okay, but the story was lame. It was pretty cheesy. Check it out if you want. It's worth a one-time watch. It's watchable for a horror flick. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you could think of any underrated, B-rated movies I may never even heard of or seen, you think I may never have seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. And I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you be told the truth, and you just been told.